Master of Ceremonies, the Deputy Chairman of the Board of Management, Mrs. Amelia King-Grosvenor, Ministry officials, guest speaker, Mr. Ryan Strawn and Mrs. Strawn, Deputy Principal, Mrs. Beverly Lashley, Reverend Arrington Messiah, fellow principals, President of the CSOSA, Ms. Sharon Lucas Blackman, President of the Parent Teacher Association, Mr. Robert Sobers, prize donors, members of staff, school captains, distinguished guests, parents and guardians, students, members of the media. I join in welcoming you to the Combermere Speech Day and the prize giving ceremony for the academic year 2012 to 2013. It is a special pleasure to welcome back to his alma mater, Mr. Ryan Strawn, immediate past president of the Barbados Economic Society. In that capacity, he has been succeeded by yet another Combermerean, Mr. Jeremy Stephen. I trust that apart from whatever advice Mr. Strawn has for us today, bearing in mind that our theme this evening is, as it is for the entire school year, limited resources but limitless possibilities, that perhaps together with Mr. Stephen, he can offer Barbados some solid economic advice in these austere times. In the academic year 2012-2013, the school recorded its highest student roll ever, with a total of 1,136 students, 569 males and 567 females. Of this total, the sixth form cohort comprised 256 students. This increased roll has not been met by a concomitant increase in funding, but the opposite obtained. Nonetheless, the staff has not shrunk from its mandate to provide an all-round quality education for each of these students. January 2013 marked an unanticipated change in the second-in-command at Combermere School. Mrs. Beverly Lashley, former Deputy Principal of the Alexandra School, at very short notice was appointed as Deputy Principal of Combermere, replacing Mrs. June Brown, who was appointed Deputy Principal of the Alexandra School. It was uncanny that for months after the switch, a number of our parents kept saying, Mrs. Lashley looks and dresses so much like Mrs. June Brown. And the students at Alexandra were reportedly saying, they sent us Mrs. Brown's sister to be our new deputy principal. They even drove the same make and model car. As principal, I've been fortunate to have enjoyed and still enjoy a wonderful collegial and friendly relationship with them both. Mrs. Neville Lashley fitted in smartly and virtually without missing a beat. She enjoys an excellent relationship with all staff, is proactive and readily offers suggestions for improvement where she thinks it helpful. I now dub her Combermerean. My colleague at Alexandra, Mr. Aline, once said to me, Vere, you sent me a good deputy, as if I were responsible. I declare my hands now. Except for training her, I had nothing to do with it. We wish Mrs. Brown continued success in her northerly sojourn. The school also said farewell to Dr. Beverly Lashley, teacher of sociology and social studies, in October 2013, after 18 years of service to the school and 34 years to education in general. Dr. Lashley retired from daily engagement utilizing her sociological knowledge and skills to engaging on a full-time basis her theological knowledge and skills in God's ministry among his people. One Beverly Lashley came and another went. We wish Dr. Lashley a happy retirement and great success in her ministry. Staff development. During the year under review, a cross-section of teachers engaged in staff development activities for personal and institutional benefit, and some conducted empowerment or training sessions for students in other secondary schools or for teachers across the system. Dr. Dion Leider successfully completed the Diploma in Education at Burleston Teachers Training College, earning a distinction in both the theory and the practice of education. We warmly congratulate her. Dr. Leider teaches chemistry and mathematics. Combermere School sponsored its own SBA workshop for Caribbean Studies teachers, and this was conducted by Dr. Henderson Carter. All our social studies and integrated science teachers participated in a CCSLC workshop, which was sponsored by the Ministry of Education, Science, Technology and Innovation, METI. The Caribbean Examinations Council revised its sociology syllabus and sponsored a sensitization workshop, which was attended by Mr. S. Aline, Dr. B. Lashley, and Reverend Morris. In an effort to assist teachers in their preparation of science students, the METI, Ministry of Education, sponsored a science SBA workshop in which Mrs. St. John, Ms. Hope, Mr. Luke, Mr. Aline, Mrs. Belgrave, and Ms. D. Curtin participated. Mrs. St. John and Mrs. Annell benefited from attending a food and nutrition SBA workshop, also sponsored by the METI. Additionally, Mrs. St. John attended the 20th Biennial Conference of the Caribbean Association of Home Economists, entitled Home Economics Empowerment, Education for Sustainable Lifestyles. On the delivery end, Mr. Simon Aline conducted a seminar on youth and behavior to male students of the Leicester-born school. He was also the presenter of a seminar on disaster management to the students of the Certificate in Educational Management and Administration, CERTEC, at the Burleston Teachers Training College. Mr. Vere Parris, assisted by Mr. Charles Lovell and a primary school principal, conducted a two-day school timetabling workshop for 49 CERTEC students at the Burleston Teachers Training College. Teachers Professional Day. For a number of years, the Combermere School Administration has tried to raise the consciousness of students with regard to healthy eating and drinking. That led to a ban, since then, on the sale of sodas. This ban has been in place for a number of years, as well as on unhealthy snacks on the compound. Last year, it was the turn of the staff to be made fully aware of the unhealthy foods we consume as a people, some willingly and some out of ignorance. The minds of staff were consumed by the serious matter of food additives, their role in mental health issues in children, and understanding food labeling. This was done in a two-part teachers' development seminar, one during planning week and the other on Teachers' Professional Day. The day concluded with the staff engaging in building morale, camaraderie, and cohesion as they took to the placid West Coast waters on board a catamaran, an exercise worth repeating. I turn now to the academic achievements. Students' academic performance overall at the CSEC and CAPE levels improved over the previous year, after 2 years of slight decline. 6 formers all pursued CAPE courses, and a few of them also wrote EdExcel examinations in one subject. The 6 form students were able to choose from 20 subject offerings, while those at the CSEC level have a choice from among 25 subjects which Combermere offers at that level. Grades 1 to 3 are passes at the CSEC level, and grades 1 to 5 are passes at the CAPE level, or 1 or A to E at the EdExcel A level. The school's preferred grades are grades 1 and 2 at the CSEC level, and grades 1, 2, and 3 at the CAPE or EdExcel level. In the CAPE Unit 1, the overall pass rate was 91.7%. 8 subjects achieved 100% passes, and 16 subjects exceeded an 80% pass rate. Notable achievements in those subjects in which the vast majority of students attained the preferred grades were accounting, 15 out of 17, art and design, 8 out of 9, biology, 16 out of 19, environmental science, 23 out of 24, communication studies, 85 out of 116. In the CAPE Unit 2, the overall pass rate was 87.1%. 5 subjects recorded a 100% pass rate, and 14 subjects recorded a pass rate of 80% or higher. Subjects with the best preferred grades profile were art and design, 6 out of 6 students, and it is noteworthy that 6 students wrote that examination and all 6 attained grade 1s. Accounting, 12 out of the 19 students attained the preferred grades. Biology, 12 out of 15. Environmental science, 15 out of 19. French, 6 out of 9. And Spanish, 12 out of 18. In the CSEC examinations, the overall pass rate was 90.3%. There were 1,287 subject entries, covering the 25 subject areas. The largest number of entries were in English A, which is otherwise English language, 207 subject entries, English B, 150, Mathematics, 142, Spanish, 73, Chemistry, 67, Physics, 65, and Biology, 62. Those were the subjects with the largest number of student entries. The smallest number of entries was to be found in the CSEC PE, where there were 6 students entered for that examination, 6 who did the course altogether. Theatre Arts with 11, and the technical subjects with regulatory restrictions like electrical and electronic technology with 12 students. In spite of these large numbers taught in overcrowded classrooms, 4 subjects recorded 100% passes, and 24 out of the 25 subjects recorded pass rates in excess of 80%. Only additional mathematics fell outside that band in its second year of offering at CXC. 16 of those subjects exceeded a 90% pass rate. Subjects that merit mention here include English A, which was written by all 186 fourth form students, as is the norm here at Combermere. This subject recorded 99 grade 1s and 80 grade 2s, with a pass rate of 99%. In English B, which is written in the 5th form, there were 49 grade 1s and 68 grade 2s. English B is English literature. Food and nutrition entered 27 students and attained 100% passes, with 20 of those 27 students earning grade 1s. There were boys in that class, and all the boys achieved grade 1s. Information technology recorded 19 grade 1s and 13 grade 2s, with a pass rate of 97%. And only one of the 35 students in that course did not succeed. Mathematics recorded 28 grade 1s and 58 grade 2s, and a pass rate of 93%. Most of the grade 1s were achieved by the accelerated 4th formers. CSEC PE recorded 4 grade 1s and 2 grade 2s out of the 6 entries, and this particular subject usually record all grade 1s. In principal accounts, students attained 19 grade 1s and 22 grade 2s out of the 49 entries, and a pass rate of 96%. Spanish recorded 11 grade 1s and 32 grade 2s, and a pass rate of 95%. In building technology, WITS, 8 out of the 20 students achieved grade 1s, the other 12 got grade 2s. I draw attention now to some of the key achievements for the academic year 2012-2013. Combermere School has clearly stated that its mission is to nurture and develop the academic and non-academic talents of its students, among other things, starting first with discovering them. I now therefore highlight some of the key achievements of the academic year 2012-2013 as the school endeavored to be true to its mission. Academic scholarships. Sonola Sandiford, who was our school captain, earned an academic scholarship to Howard University worth $22,000 US per annum. She is pursuing chemistry. Sonola is also a talented musician who plays violin and piano and has earned distinctions in a number of her exams in those instrumental areas. Shanice Gibson won an academic scholarship to Wittenberg University in Ohio, valued at $37,000 US per annum. Vere Parris won an academic scholarship to Xiamen University in China, and this scholarship is valued at $55,000 US. She is pursuing anthropology and journalism. Other scholarships. Shani Adams won an athletic scholarship to Wayland Baptist University in Texas, and she was recently named Athlete of the Week by her university. Naomi Adams won a United World College scholarship to UWC in Italy. Leandre Knight won a United World College scholarship to UWC in Costa Rica. Katie McLean won a United World College scholarship to UWC in New Mexico. And Shane Ward won a United World College scholarship to UWC in Swaziland. Note that UWC offers only partial scholarships, not full scholarships. Their graduates, however, are very highly regarded at universities around the world, and they are usually offered full university scholarships once they complete that program in the United States of America, as can be attested to by 2 of our previous UWC graduates who graduated about 2 years ago. We have been having now some UWC graduates over the last few years. From those a few years ago, every year now we've been having one, and we just had our latest election, who was named just this week, and the school here will go back a little later. Our current school captain, female, won the Ministry of Tourism's annual speech competition to become Junior Minister of Tourism for the January 2013 to March 2014 period. Kezia has been outstanding in several fora. She is also CEO of the Combermere Connect Corps, the number 3 unit. She represented Barbados and Martinique in the State of the Industry Conference, during which she participated in the Regional Tourism Youth Congress. Just last week, her praises were sung by many when she delivered a presentation on the state of local tourism with recommendations for action at a breakfast meeting of the Barbados Tourism Association. Congratulations to Kezia. We are very proud. Nyack Voice won both the local and regional Florida Caribbean Cruise Association essay competition. Her prize was $3,000 and a similar sum for her school. That $3,000 is US. Emerald Alice won third prize in the Florida Caribbean Cruise Association poster competition. Ricardo Reed and Destiny Blunt reached the semifinals of the Junior Monarch Calypso competition. Avery Kelman earned a silver award in the NIFCA 2012 Fine Arts category. Rachel Williams, Abigail Bayer, Rihanna Balbunia, and Megan Trotman earned bronze awards in the NIFCA 2012 Fine Arts category. Megan has since earned 8 grade 1s and 1 grade 2 in her CSEC exams and was accepted to pursue studies at Memorial University in Newfoundland. Sharice Alcock earned a silver award in the NIFCA 2012 Fine Arts category. Desiree Taylor and Shanika Beckles earned bronze awards in NIFCA 2012 Fine Craft category. Desiree also won the award for Performing Arts during the Combermere Week of 2013. Andrea McLean earned a bronze award in the NIFCA 2012 Music category for singing. Master ceremonies, these are but few of the myriad achievements of our students. Sporting and extracurricular activities and achievements are the domain of our school captains. They will delight you with the exploits of their peers. Complementary learning activities. Our foreign language department continues to be exemplary in providing authentic learning experiences for students. 2 such experiences which took participants beyond our shores and fully into the realms of Hispanic culture were organized and executed during the last academic year. The first was our now annual Spanish Total Immersion program, which enabled 20 students of Spanish to journey to Puerto Rico to attend formal classes specially designed for them. They were placed in tutorial groups based on an oral examination administered by the Institute for Spanish Language Acquisition upon their arrival in Puerto Rico. They were all taught the same material, but at a different pace. Not for the first time, the Combermere Foreign Language Department accommodated students from other secondary schools in this total immersion program. This time, the Ursuline Convent and Harrison College were the beneficiaries. In the past, Queen's College has been accommodated in this exercise. Apart from the classroom sessions, participants visited El Yunque Rainforest, La Mina Great Waterfalls, where students indulge in their first ever waterfall bath. Yokabu Tower for great photo opportunity, Old San Juan, and the Bacardi Rum Distillery to learn of the industry and to observe the distillation process, not to tickle the palate. They were also guided on a market tour by one of their Puerto Rican teachers. This annual exercise has been of great value to those who participate, including the teachers, as we have had special classroom sessions for the teachers, the accompanying teachers, on past tours. It is perhaps one of the reasons why Combermere has been identified by CXC for best practice in Spanish, locally, and a top school in this subject area. Congratulations to Mr. Vaughan and his team. They also undertook an exciting tour to Barcelona and Madrid in December 2012 and January 2013, the heartland of Spanish. The number of students on this tour was small, only 5, along with 35 adults, including staff and parents. This was the effort of the Foreign Language Club. Perhaps the expenditure a few months earlier, while on tour to Mexico, left only lead in the pockets of students and parents, since Cortez left very little silver or gold in Mexico for our students to take to Spain. Other departments also authenticated the learning of students by taking them into the field so that they could translate classroom learning into real-world experiences. For example, the Geography Department crisscrossed the country with the Lower 6 Environmental Science Group in their effort to study water quality and pollution in various parts of Barbados. Their journeys took them to the Chancery Lane Swamp, the river at Holt Town, and the Bruce Vale River, as they examined suspended solids, biological oxygen demand, and the acidity and alkalinity of the water they sampled. In their look at energy, the Upper 6 group paid a visit to the biodiesel plant in Greenhill. The 5th form geography students interviewed residents of Greenfields and in New Orleans as they studied urban problems in Bridgetown. This is just a snapshot of some of the off-campus learning that our students have engaged in over the past year. Throughout the school, fieldwork is a common learning strategy employed to give greater meaning to textbook and classroom teaching and learning. Students who practice the fine and expressive arts have had a variety of opportunities to exhibit and express themselves. Artrageous was the name given to our inaugural Visual and Performing Arts Showcase in Concert. The showcase exposed students to possible career choices in this field through interaction with professionals and showed how that talent could be presented on stage. This year, it was transformed from a mere exhibition dedicated to the students of the Cape Unit 1. The showcase was of a high standard and will definitely become an annual event. Miss Marlene Smith, one of our music teachers, was very instrumental in organizing this event. We congratulate her and the other members of the Fine Arts and Music Department for this exciting new venture. The musical bands, choir, and individuals performed at various school and corporate events. These included the Combermere Independence Parade, the Hinesbury School Affair, the Combermere Modeling Show set off, the Sir Ranford Tate Memorial Service, the Sir Wesley Hall Tribute in honor of his knighthood, the Lime Grove Christmas Program, the Combermere School Speech Day, and the Mongay Regatta Reception at the Barbados Yacht Club. Additionally, our wind and brass instrumentalists performed with the Waterford Music and Cultural Society in their Tin Pan Alley concerts. I now turn briefly to a matter that has been holding the attention of us all for some time: the financing of education in light of the current economic situation. I especially refer here to financing of secondary education. I speak not just as principal of Combermere School, but also as president of the Barbados Association of Principals of Public Secondary Schools. All schools have been tightening their belts since traditional funding has of necessity been reduced. The demands on schools have, however, increased. The demand to produce higher quality results, the demand to meet higher proficiency standards in the sports persons that we produce, the demand not to let fall through the cracks those students whose households fall on hard times, the demand to keep our schools safe without increasing our security budget, the demand to maintain a school plant that is highly conducive to teaching and learning, complete with functioning equipment and adequate materials with a shrinking maintenance and supplies budget. In short, we are expected to do much more with much less. We have been appealing more to our constituents for financial and material assistance. Some companies have not been able to give as much as in the past. Perhaps the time has come when all schools should be allowed to run their own school canteen and use the funds so generated to help fund school programs, maintain equipment, and the like, rather than have to put those funds into the consolidated fund. Perhaps all funds earned through leveraging the economic potential of the physical assets of schools should similarly become immediately accessible to the schools for their use in the aforementioned areas. What about VAT returns? Is it conceivable that schools could be allowed to utilize their VAT returns as additional funding rather than what I refer to as deducted funding? I use the term deducted funding here in a very special way, in that funds that are claimed as VAT returns are now to form a part of the school's normal funding, so that it is subtracted from what funds should have come to the school. It was indeed good news to see that some schools will benefit from solar electricity, and I highly commend the initiative. This program can be extended to all schools. Perhaps the regulatory framework can be established that would allow school boards, as agents of the government, to enter into arrangements with finance agencies to secure funding for the installation of solar electric systems that feed into the national grid. After the initial deposit, the money now allocated to meeting schools' electricity costs could be used to meet the resulting monthly financial obligations. Having crunched the numbers myself, I know that this can result in a saving of approximately $7,000 per month for a school the size of Combermere, which in effect would be a saving to government. Difficult times must generate different and creative thinking. Those suggestions may be totally out of left field. They may even be considered ridiculous, but they may have some merit. And as educators, we must not only be consumers of knowledge and ideas to be passed on to our charges, but we must be generators of ideas also. As a school, we here at Combermere are always open to suggestions from parents or from others or other stakeholders. Suggestions to creatively meet the educational needs of our students. We are open to more than ideas. We are open to your financial support as well. In closing, I extend sincere thanks to the Ministry of Education, Science, Technology and Innovation for its assistance to this school. The Chief Education Officer has been a reliable support when called upon. The school expresses sincere appreciation to the immediate past president of the CSOSA, Mr. Junior Jordan, and his committee for years of dedicated, selfless service to the school. The PTA and the CSOSA, both the local and the New York Alumni Association, have been important partners and sources of support for the school. Some of the prizes that will be given today were donated by the New York alumni, some by board members, and some by companies like the Ivors Taxi and Tours, our chief provider of transport for our school teams, Duty Free Caribbean, the Barbados Light and Power, apart from our traditional donors. We greatly appreciate their contributions. I am particularly heartened by one of our then first-year parents, Mrs. Sherry Hines, who responded to our call and donated printed paper every month to the school for our use. Old scholar Mr. Andrew Gill, who also donated cases of printed paper for use by our teachers in the preparation of material for our students. Ms. Kimberly Cadogan, a young past school captain, who in term 2 of last year offered her tutoring services free of charge to 6th form pure math students. She's a tutor in mathematics at UWI. This is not a vote of thanks, but as principal, I must highlight the tremendous contribution of persons or companies that have been magnanimous in their support of the school and its students. In this regard, Messrs. Vere Parris, Bertram Hall, Andrew Bino, Basil Levine, Andrew Gill, and Peter Lewis have been outstanding, and they deserve our highest commendation. Master Ceremonies, those are some of the many persons who have contributed to the successes of our students. I express my deepest gratitude to the teaching, secretarial, and other support staff of the school, and to the Board of Management for all their dedicated efforts in the interests of the school. I look forward to a continued team effort as we educate this generation of our nation's children.